Days of the Dead. It's been at least a month since I've seen you. So how are you doing? How are you feeling, first of all?
Come on, hi.
Hi. Good. Isn't it that you were a little froggy?
Yeah, I got real sick.
Oh no.
Yeah, I got the flu. It was really bad. Yeah, we weren't going to talk about it though.
We're on men now, isn't it?
Oh,
Okay. Good.
Yeah. I was a bit funny. Yeah.
Yeah. We had to pump her microphone way up so you wouldn't have to strain your voice. Really? Yeah, no, I had to turn your mic volume up all the way to max that way so you didn't have to say
No, I did that.
And that way.
I can project today. We're much better.
We do not need that. We're good. Anyways, welcome back to Days of the Dead. Always wonderful to have you. As I told you last time, I had a confession. I had a confession that I had not seen you when we always found out. And I finally thought I watched it again and I loved it even more.
Watched it again?
Yes. It was a
You
rush.
sucker.
It was a rush job watch the first time. Just think that I didn't see it. I'm like, now I'm actually going to sit down and pay attention and take it in. And I liked it even more this time, so
That's good.
thank you.
Alright. Well, thanks.
Now, obviously, Evil Dead is a whole, is such a powerhouse of a franchise. How does it feel to be a part of such a pivotal franchise and be a part of the Evil Dead family?
It's great. I was really scared at first because you want fans to like what you're about to do. And you don't want to disappoint people. So it was a whole mix of stuff. A little bit scared, a little bit apprehensive, but also really excited. Yeah, because it's an honor to be a part of, obviously. Yeah.
Do you remember the first scene you shot?
Yep. It was the very first scene that you saw me in the film, where I'm messing around with a soldering iron and my teenage daughter Bridget is hounding me about her t-shirt.
Do you remember the last scene you shot?
Oh, yeah, when my face got kicked into the wood chipper.
How was that for you? How long did that take?
The entire film or the face getting kicked into the wood chipper?
The face kicking into the wood chipper scene.
Well, that's kind of hard because that last sequence with the Marauder is all kind of one big scene. It's just one really long sequence, and that was filmed over a few weeks.
How long did the entire film take?
It was 3 months of filming with a 2-month lockdown in the middle of that. So it ended up being, I was in New Zealand for 6 months.
But 3 total active filming.
3 total of active filming. I was there for a month before we started filming.
Were you a fan of the Evil Dead franchise before?
No, I wasn't. I had never watched any of the Evil Dead films because I'm a chicken. But then when I read through the film and found out that Lee wanted to meet with me, then I watched the originals. Yeah.
So, since you are a chicken, were you afraid when you watched them, or did you say this isn't that bad?
It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, I gotta watch these sooner. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I think as well, a lot of audiences are much more desensitized to horror, so like I think horror has to keep sort of pushing boundaries to impress people and to be original. And I think the first Evil Dead, well, really original when they made them. Obviously times change, so I wasn't that scared of them.
Did you watch the first remake they did as well?
Yeah.
How was that one for you? That was
Oh,
graphic.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel that it was graphic because we are sensitized and we've been seeing so much all these years?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I do think that things are kind of ramping up.
Yeah.
For sure.
To keep up.
Yeah.
Amazing. So as a chicken, as you said,
going, what am I doing to myself? It was, and I probably didn't expect her on the ceiling then. That, like, I jumped and I didn't sleep very well that night at all. No. I literally like kind of turn my face or cover like things so I can't to try to soften the blow.
Does it work?
No.
Now that we had some scary talk, do we have any audience questions?
Which scene was the most difficult to execute and why?
That last sequence with the marauder, for sure. Yeah, that was very, very complicated. We shot it lots of different ways, and then we had this 2-month lockdown, and we started filming that sequence. We actually, the entire film we did in chronological order, which is unusual, and we're very lucky that we got to do it that way. But we had done a few days of that sequence, and there was a huge COVID outbreak in New Zealand, and we had to shut down for 2 months and come back. But then once we were back, we had to be socially distanced. So everything was just really complicated, and all of a sudden I couldn't have Bridget and Danny next to me on set, and we all kind of had to film separately for them to stitch together in post. Yeah, and so we all kind of had to do our parts like on our own, and what you don't realise sometimes with film, so they put together a whole call sheet and they'll plan to shoot Danny from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And so they'll call me to come and start my makeup to coincide with when Danny Rack's doing his scene. And so then I get onto set and I've got no idea what he did, because I wasn't there and he wasn't beside me, and so then you have to try to fit in, because you know that's how it was. We're all meant to be in this, at the same moment and in the same morphed spidery character. So that really complicated things then.
I would have never thought that watching that scene.
Yeah, I don't know what's what. it was all such a blur, and then watching it on screen, you're not really aware of like, what were we doing at that point? Were we together? Were we not together? I've got no idea. Yeah.
Can we see the smile?
Why do people do this to me?
Come on.
Hi.
Please.
Did you develop that smile, or were you instructed to give a pretty smile?
No, I just have a big mouth. I fully think that's, you know, no, I'd like to think that I was cast for my performance and how I act, but I also think a big part of it is how big my mouth is and how sharp my cheekbones are.
You have a very Julia Roberts-esque smile.
Oh, that's flattering. Yeah.
Totally flat.
Don't you agree?
Oh, no, I meant it. It is very flattering. I mean, I'm not sure I agree, but.
Well, I think it's true. Okay. Anyone else want to say?
Sorry, who just spoke? Because I thought it was. Hi. We had a little confusing moment there, and then a voice came from where I wasn't expecting it. Okay, did Bruce Campbell give you any advice for the role? No, I didn't get to speak to Bruce until we were here at South by Southwest, because Bruce and Sam, we filmed in New Zealand during the pandemic, and they were not necessary to be in the country. They can watch all of the dailies remotely and weigh in and speak to Lee. Everything can be done virtually and online now. And New Zealand was incredibly strict with who they were letting into the country at the time. I was lucky that I got to be there. There was a cast member that didn't make it into the film because they couldn't get her into the country and they had to recast the role. So it was, really strange times for stuff. So I did get to speak to both Bruce and Sam and hang out with them at South by Southwest. It was pretty
That kind of situation happened a lot. I was a part of a movie that me and my friend were supposed to be in, and we were filming in summer of 2021. My friend is Irish in Ireland, And she was supposed to have a much bigger part than I was. I was like just a featured extra. And she couldn't get to the country to get here to America to film. So I benefited and got the role. Oh, yes, I got the role. And I'm like, but I told her, like, is this okay?
That's sweet of you.
Because I'm like, she goes, no, I can't do it, you might as well.
Exactly.
But I felt like terrible. Even though I already told her, like, I took her role. And I just didn't want it.
Yeah, but I mean, I prefer my role go to a friend, but I like the role, yes.
First of all, I want to say everybody gets really nervous when there's remakes or something we've done in a franchise. Bow down to you because it was absolutely amazing, and I think everybody's in here because of that. Being someone who I guess wasn't really a fan of the horror genre, what was it like for you? What was it like for you playing someone so evil, so maniacal, but also have like very comedic parts in your role as well? What was that like? How did you get into that mindset?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm not an actor that takes my work home with me. I leave it on set, and to me, it's like, I don't want to say I don't take it seriously, because I do take my job very seriously. I work very hard. But in a character like that, it's not real, so you know that what I'm doing is just, it's so out there that the only option for me is to enjoy it as much as I can. And I also felt like Ellie had Deadeye Ellie. For someone to be like that and to do those things, it has to come from such a rageful place. And so I just tapped into all my feminine rage, man, and I just, we let it fly. And I was like, ah! And it was really fun. Yeah.
What was your most challenging or daunting or challenging role in the movie Rise of the Evil Dead?
In Evil Dead Rise, or any role that I've had?
Yeah, in the last one, in Evil Dead Rise.
The most challenging thing I did?
Yeah.
Okay. The vomit. The vomit. Because it was, I hated it. I really hated it. I'm not gonna lie. Everything else, like I could deal with the blood and the prosthetics and the stunts. That was all fine. Fine. But the vomit was just the most disgusting thing I think I've ever done in my life. And I really wanted to actually vomit. Yeah, I hated it.
Want to share with us what that process was?
Sure. Just make me relive it. So it's Evil Dead, and everything is done practically. So what you saw on screen actually happened. That volume of liquid came out of my mouth, and it was out of my mouth. It wasn't like the camera's here and they shot it out here. They have a tube, and the tube comes up and it has a mouthpiece that's in the back of my mouth, and they force this awful liquid, and the liquid is like, it's like having buckets full of somebody else's saliva in your mouth. That's the best way I can describe it. And it is throttled up that tube, and it bounces off the mouthpiece and then just goes out of your mouth. And the force that's happening, and the vibration, and this mouthpiece back in your mouth, and the gag reflex, the whole thing is fully disgusting. And like, you actually see my eyes kind of like, and that's really what happened, because I hated every second of it. And they're like, it's going to be a one and done shot, and it's never a one and done shot. And we had to do it multiple times, and I was like, oh. Yeah. That was the most challenging for sure. I just wanted to get off set that day, which doesn't happen very often. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite scene, and what about favorite line?
My favorite scene, I would say everything through the peephole, both to film and also to watch. I think Lee was really original with that whole sequence of stuff. It was wonderful, and Stuart Thorpe, our stunt coordinator, the way he had sort of choreographed all of the fight stuff and getting shots, and the timing of that was all really fun to do and really fun to watch. And my favourite line is I'm free from going to do something about this.
So when you get possessed and your voice changes, is that you talking, or how did that happen?
It's a lot of layers of me talking, and then a little, I think it's also a little bit digitally manipulated. They had me in the sound booth, I can't remember how many days they've been out in the sound booth, but all of Deadite Ellie's dialogue, I did a whole range of stuff from like whispering like a little girl, all the way through like full Cookie Monster, so, and they took all of those different things and kind of layered them all together. And yeah, Peter Albertson, who did our sound, was so wonderful. And we had a lot of fun in the sound booth. Yeah, it was cool.
Were you able to do the house that Chloe was working?
Yes, I was able to go, yeah.
Did you contribute any additional voice add-ons for that?
No, I got to go and enjoy it. Once it was all done, and they were, I got to meet some friends and just enjoy it. Yeah, I didn't contribute. I didn't need to. I mean, it was so fun. No, it's a fun experience to see all these people with your face on their face jumping out and scaring you. It's really cool.
That's the self-professed chicken that you said you were. How was that? 'Cause, you know, I love my scary movies, but when I go to horror nights, I scream like a little bitch.
I was so nervous. I was really nervous. I don't like being scared. I think I've been sent a run through of it. I think maybe our exec producer sent me a run through of it, so I kind of knew the layout of it. But I also went to the last of us maze. We went through a few of them. That one scared me. Someone got me real good right at the end of it. I thought we were done. And now the maze, there was like one extra scare that really got me good. Yeah.
I went to the horror nights in Orlando last year, and I had not been to horror nights since I left California, so for like 17 years, right? Yes, and you know, I'm pretty good at the houses, so I go and okay, keep an eye out on people jumping out for me, we're good, you know,
You can't be at the front or the back. You gotta go with dumb people and be in the middle.
right, but they don't jump out everyone either, you know, so they know how to time it, so they don't get everyone single team coming. But I'm always like, you know, but there was one, and I don't remember which house it was in, got me so good. I shrieked, I screamed, and then I did one of these. And then I laughed, and the person behind me was losing her shit. I'm like, right!
You know, when I'm actually legit scared, I don't scream. I found this out, and I make a really go.
I think we had this conversation before. Really? Yeah, in India, I think. We're talking about, you know, fights on. Right. But, you know, when someone's jumping out at me, I will scream. Whether it's a real situation or it's a fake house, right? If someone grabs me or jumps at me, I scream, and I might hit you, and that's your fault, you know?
Oh yeah, I'm like, hey, that's an interesting tidbit for you all. At the beginning of the film, when Beth scares me and I hit her, it was my idea to hit her.
Yes! I was like, that's what I would do! Some people think it's a good idea to come up and grab you from behind, and then
I've got a reflex like that too.
yeah, I throw my elbow back so fast and it's, I don't know, when I am frightened, maybe I got chased by a dog once, I'm like, and my voice just caught in my, and I love dogs, I still love dogs, right? But this was a mean dog, just on the street, like a very mean dog. And I was like, I couldn't do anything, my voice caught in my throat, like yours did. It did not, I don't know, I was like, 16. You know, I was not a kid. It didn't affect my love for dogs.
That's good.
You know, and I don't know why it wanted to bite me. It was obviously very frightened, right? It was on the street. But my reaction in this
Hurt
situation.
dogs, hurt people.
Right! It's a bit sad. I love animals. But in my reaction, I realized then if I don't run, I just catch my I can't do anything, can't do any talk or scream.
Yeah.
Unless you grab me and scream.
Yeah.
It's weird, right?
It is.
It's strange.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it is.
yeah. And when I have to make a scream, like for a horror movie or something, I have a hard time doing the scream now.
Really?
Yes, it's weird. I don't know. Anyway, I need to work on my screaming apparently.
Yeah, I thankfully I didn't really have to do that.
Yeah, everyone is screaming because of you. You're making the screams happen. Yeah, yes, yeah. Anyway, the horror nights is great. The house is awesome. Thank you.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, I had nothing to do with it really.
Did you go to any of the other houses in the horror nights, or
I did. Yeah, when you're very brave. But once we did Evil Dead, I was like, okay, alright, I think I can handle this. We went on some rides. Yeah, it's a good time. I've never been before, and I didn't know that it's actually, like, the park is still open and that you can be on the rides and like all that at the same time. We had a blast, it was great.
did you do Florida or
LA.
Okay, yeah, I did Florida. Yeah. It was the best. I was like, oh, this was good.
Yeah.
So this is so nice.
It's fun.
I have to make sure I do this for all, make a trip for this.
Yeah, I found that, do they do the same thing in Orlando as they do in LA with like all of the different scare actors just are in the park as well?
Yeah, like they're running in some
Yes.
random character.
Yes.
Chasing with chainsaws and stuff.
I think I was more scared by some of them because you're just trying to walk through the park and you're not like in the situation where you know people are jumping out at you. We're gonna have to stop talking about this, I'm already getting
Yeah. That's okay. You.
So I'm just curious, was there anything that we didn't get to see in the movie or that you, like was in the script that got cut that you really wish that was still in there?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the eeny Yeah. I had some takes where I flipped the bird. Oh, eeny, meeny. Yeah, I did that. It is on social media. I linked it.
Because I really did wonder when I watched the movie exactly what I seen was. I was like, where is the easy I know?
They got it. No, you know what it was, and I agree with the decision, is that it made it a little bit too funny and less scary. Yeah, that's why.
Did I see one in the back? Yeah.
Did you have any difficulties bringing the children out of makeup?
No, not at all. Gabby was 15 and you're working with a 15-year-old and like, they're just happier than you are. She was great. Nell, our youngest, Nell didn't read the entire script. She knew her lines and we would take her through everything. Also, when you're making a film, like, you know everything that's going to happen. You've rehearsed it all. We had Nell come in and see some of the makeup process so that she could see just how fake it all is and that it's not real. And we never had her see me on set for the first time because the set was really quite dark. So we would have her see me in like bright light before we would go on to set together and have a little chat. And she was a real trooper, was fine with it. She knew it was all pretend.
For not being a horror fan and after being in such an iconic movie and having a great time and doing a great job, has this potentially now opened you up to wanting to make more movies in the horror genre?
Sure, but maybe a little bit further off in the future. I want to be a bit careful if I go and do another horror straight away. I'm just a horror actress. I'm pretty adamant that the next thing I do is not horror, so that I can, have a longer career and not just be thought of in one genre. And also because I want to do as many genres as I can. I'm definitely open to the genre in the future. I just, from a career perspective, I'd love to do something pretty different next.
What was your reaction when you saw yourself in all that makeup for the first time? I know you probably saw the process, but like once it was all done.
Yeah, it's hard to answer that because you are watching the entire process, so there's no kind of like reveal for me. And we did a lot of makeup tests as well, and that's all a blur, and I can't quite remember.
What about the rest of the cast when they saw you, like the kid? Well, I know the youngest kid saw you getting the makeup on.
It was more the crew, because I kind of forget. Like you know that you're made up to look like a monster, but you do kind of forget, and so you walk in to have breakfast with the crew. You don't think about it, you're in the line with everyone else, and you just go, like, yeah.
Or like you go to the bathroom and you forget you're wearing it, and you look in the mirror and you're like, oh crap.
Little bit, yeah, that can happen. For sure, you look up, you're like, oh right, that's on my face. Yeah.
How much would you say the makeup and costuming process helps you develop your character? Or do you pretty much go in beforehand that already worked out?
Depends on the role. Yeah, it depends on the role. With Ellie, I don't. Gosh, my memory. Because it was a few years back now. It'll be funny. I wouldn't say Ellie's costume contributed to my character, but in other roles the costume has. So, oh god, it's so case by case. The makeup for Ellie,
So you don't have like a process that's like a one size fits all, or this is how I do my thing to find my character.
no, I've got all different kinds of ways to get into stuff. Yeah. There probably is some kind of consistent process that maybe I'm not as aware of. But I like to try all kinds of different things. Sometimes there might be something in the backstory of a character that I really kind of connect to, and that's the seed that sort of starts a character. Sometimes it's an accent and a dialect that makes you sit differently or stand differently and gives you different posture. And then sometimes, like with Ellie, it was, I think her movement, just coming up with her movement, the little twitches and stuff, and I had a whole playlist of music, and I think that was kind of the basis for Dead Eye Ellie. And then I kind of just let it go and trust myself and see what happens. Yeah. Thanks.
I'll change it up from horror a little bit. I'm a huge fan of when did you realize that your character was going to be somebody that was not liked in the series? The acting was great, not being your character. You read the script that it's going to be that way?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, from where I stood, we were pagans. and women are not responsible for men's behaviour. So no, I didn't think that she would be hated the way. I mean, look, you can't really know how an entire fandom is responding to you. I figured out real quick that I wasn't going to read any comments once the character was introduced, because I was very excited. It was my first series regular. And when they introduced my character, I looked at social media and there was a picture, and the comments that were underneath that picture were really pretty cool. And I had no idea that that was coming for me. Didn't think about it because, as I said, we were pagans. So that was kind of the first insight I had into what was potentially about to happen.
The acting was great.
Thank you.
I love that. Hate the character just because you were the anti-part of the basic process.
I blame Rosa.
Actually, kind of touching on what you just talked about, since you are on social media and thank you for posting a lot of things that you do, especially behind the scenes photos. How do you, I guess, navigate that world? Because there are so many who just want to say the negative things or whatever. How do you navigate that?
Don't really read a lot of comments. It's wild to me that my role on Vikings could be so hated, and yet I can play a mum who turns on her children and becomes a homicidal maniac and be embraced. It's a really bizarre thing to go through, and it shows you how a funny line of dialogue can really change people's perception of something. But yeah, with that stuff, I just don't really read a whole lot of comments. And look, that's not to say, like, people don't really come to my page and dole out hate. That's not a thing that happens very often. It was more like on the show's social media. That's where I saw mine, and I was like, oh, I'm staying away from that. So it's like stuff like that. But I want to have a really healthy relationship with social media. It's a business tool for me. I should be posting more and I don't, and every now and then I'll post something. But I kind of will do that and then just close it and leave it. Because those apps are designed to make you stay on them and to get dopamine hits and get like chemically addicted to them. And I would prefer to read a book. So.
Who's your favorite author?
Ooh. That's a tough one. I just finished David Copperfield and I adored it. I loved every second of it. Yeah, it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. So I'll say that because it's top of mind. Yeah.
What was it like preparing for all the stunts that you did?
Really fun. So much fun. Yeah, because I hadn't really done much of that before at all. My role in Vikings, I didn't get to do stunts. I sat in the throne. Everyone else got to run around with swords and shields and stuff, and I just sat on the throne. Yeah, I loved it. And it's a fun new challenge to combine, like, I feel like it's using both sides of the brain at the same time, because you have to be so accurate and time things all at the right time and remember, and it's kind of like doing a dance. So you have to be really aware of that, and because you don't want to hurt people. And then at the same time, you need to perform well while you're doing it and get like the right emotional beats while it's going on. And it's a bit like rubbing your tummy and patting your head at the same time, but really fun. Yeah, loved it.
Oh, how did you cling on to the ceiling in the one scene where you jumped out of the water?
When I was 9, I had this spider that bit me.
No, but that's
Jokes. I was in a harness. The harness had me suspended, and that took all of my weight. Now, it wasn't easy because I had to look like I was stuck. Yeah, it was tough. It wasn't an easy thing because like keeping my hands and stuff like connected to the walls was tough. But I was in a harness. That.
I just want to say, piggyback on the Vikings. Loved it. And I'm sure you hear this all the time, but if people really dislike the character, at least they're doing a job. And
Oh, I know that. I'm well aware of that. But I think to expand upon what I said, I became very aware of how society loves to blame women. And a lot of the comments were based on how I looked. They were very lean, and that was really kind of like, wow, okay. I'm gonna say.
Travis, is he proud of the Joker? He seems like he would be now.
Yes. Yes, I did not have a passcode on my phone when I joined Vikings. And very quickly into filming, I learned you got to put a passcode on your phone. Yeah. Yeah, I think they were called my agent one day. But someone had taken my phone and they were in the midst of calling my agent, and I was just like, how did you want that? No, give me Yeah.
Do you know what you were going to speak to?
No, I intercepted it, thankfully. But then a passcode got put on my phone real quick. Right there.
What was it like working with Lee Cronin? I mean, like, he's such a visionary. I loved the whole ground, especially. So I was really excited to see what he did with that. What was it like?
It was fantastic. It was unbelievable. I think he's a creative genius. And we seem to be on the same page with kind of how our taste and how we wanted things to go. I loved it. I thought he was wonderful to collaborate with. There were things that he came up with and contributed that were incredible. And he's really meticulous, and I love that, because that means I can trust him. He's not going to say, okay, we got it, moving on, if he's not totally sure that he got it. So, yeah, he's great. I really like, because I'm pretty meticulous myself. Yeah. Sorry.
I'm just saying.
It's typically the way it goes. Who wants to give you a job? I'll take it.
That's a non-order.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I want health insurance. I don't have one that I'm going to do next. No, because I want to try everything. So one doesn't really take priority over another. It depends on the creatives. It depends on the script, the character. Yeah. Sometimes it'll depend on where it's filming. And then you're kind of like, do I want to go there for 6 months of my life? Depends.
I think that on it, though, I always like asking this question. If you could be in any movie franchise, like you could pick one, what would you like to see yourself in?
Bond.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to be a Bond villain.
The Bond villain.
Yeah.
Yes. Not a Bond girl, Bond villain.
No, a Bond villain. Yeah.
I saw that shooter back there, yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask how long did it take each day for you to get into makeup and all that?
Yeah, it was between 4 and 6 hours, depending on where we were at in the script. Yeah. I had some early wake ups. And real quick.
you're honest that like listen, everything is practical, and now there's so much with CGI and AI. Do you have any thoughts on that? Because it's so rare nowadays to have a set that is using practicals versus CGI or AI.
I mean, when I'm watching something as a viewer, I love practical. I really enjoy that. Sometimes CGI is what you've got to do to have certain things happen. I guess I don't like when a film is really packed with CGI. I'm not sure what my thoughts are yet on AI. I don't think I know enough about it. I'm pretty terrified of it in a lot of ways. Like, I read an article the other day on a new scam. Someone got scammed because they recorded somebody's voice of their daughter or something.
Yes.
Did you hear about that?
Yep.
Like, that terrifies me.
They're saying to have a safe word with your family.
It's, as technology advances, I feel like the bad guys are also, I don't know, man. Sometimes I just kind of want to go back to the 80s and, terrifying.
All right, now a question from Sutherland.
Oh, boy, here we go.
I got a fun one this time. Don't worry.
Oh my God.
I always throw something really bizarre at her that she's not expecting. Okay. Are you ready to stretch out? If your career had a theme song, what would it be?
Oh, geez. I don't want it to have more theme song.
If your career right now would have a theme song, what would it be?
Bohemian Rhapsody. It's all over the place. You know?
I love it.
Yeah.
And it's very long. Yeah, and about a minute. It's very long and all over the place.
There you go.
Okay, everyone give it up. Yeah. Put it down here. I'll let you grab your stuff. I was worried about you up there.